everyone, welcome to my studio. Hey Chrissy, how you doing? Today I'm going to do a blurry background on this giraffe. And what I did is I taped off some areas. I have the reference photo there in the corner by my head. And I kind of changed it a little bit. Hey Gary, how you doing? And what I did was I kind of turned it. I've talked about this a little bit in some live streams on other channels, and also some of the, can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure y'all can hear me. So I talked about this changing, just twisting things. You don't have to make a major change. So you can see on the reference where the giraffe is actually coming from the side. One of the things I'm going to do with this piece is I'm also going to talk about how breaking the borders really helps to sell your piece. So I kind of turned the giraffe a little bit so he's actually going to look like he's coming out from the frame to the viewer. So that's my idea on this one. And I thought a really cool border would be nice. I used washi tape here because that's what I had. I didn't want to go get some masking tape, and it seems to work really well. It comes off really easy, as you can see. It peels off really easy, so you don't have to worry about it being too, volume's a little low. Is that better? Hey Steve, how's it going? Let me change one more thing. Let's try that. Okay, how's that? Is that better? Okay. So if you have washi tape, one of the reasons I did washi tape is because it has different sizes. And I just make sure that it's down on the edge that I'm working on really well before I work. And then I'm also using masking film, and I'll have a video on how to use that coming out eventually. Not enough time to do things. So who else? Let's see, Gary and Steve and Chrissy. Okay, so let's get started. And Chrissy, I'm going to try to finish the background in my live stream, stick with my theme. I do have the palette over here, so you can kind of see what I'm doing. I have this set up. It's kind of reverse of what I have it. Everything's reversed. So my giraffe is actually on my right, but everything's reversed on the video. And this palette is set up just as it is in the actual, when they ship it to you. So these are the Faber-Castell, whatever it says, soft pastels. It's a 72 set. And then I'm also using the Art Spectrum Colorfix paper, which I have not used before. So wish me luck on this. I know Chrissy had a little issue with her technique, but I'm not using that, and it works really good with color pencil. This is going to be on color pencil, and I'm going to have the color pencil version, the whatever you want to call it, the real-time version with voiceover, that's what I'm looking for, on the Patreon channel of the giraffe. But we're going to do the background today. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a lighter color, and since I turned this, I'm going to not put this light white yellow thing going on here. So I'm just going to take, and I'm not going to try to make it exact. I'm just getting the feel for it. The paper should be okay. I'm hoping. Yes, we all need to pray this works well. Right now I'm just trying to get some of the tree things in here. And when you come down on the masking film, words are hard today, people. Seriously. When you come down on the masking film, you want to be careful not to push too hard and try to work away from it. Same with the tape, because you don't want to pull it up underneath the tape. You want that clean edge. And I think I'm going to put a little bit up here, kind of put there's a random hair on here. Put a little bit here. Okay, oops. I'm going to change over to, let's do a green. Put some foliage in here and there. I do like working with pastels because it is very forgiving. That is a very bright green. That's okay. We're gonna go with it. So in this instance, since this is such a bright green, it'll be a nice undertone for some of these when it mixes. Not a big deal. Gonna go with a more army green, I guess, for lack of a better term. Put in some of this dark area. And I like to use, you know, for the larger areas, the side, because it goes way, way quicker. I was talking to my husband, and we were talking about how I wanted to do this. He said I should put it so the giraffe, you can kind of see the giraffe. It's kind of like a mirrored version of it. But I decided, after playing with the reference photo a little bit, I decided I didn't want to do that because it didn't appear that he was coming out from behind, and that's kind of what I wanted it to do. So I changed it up a little bit more. I listened, but I ignored him. See, that's going to be black, so we want to keep in mind to keep that part a little bit lighter. We don't want it to darken that area, and then the black horns will fade in too much. I'm going to change and go with a little bit lighter green. Something to keep in mind when you're doing a blurry background is make sure that you don't have a lot of detail. That's the whole point of the blurry background. You don't want a lot of detail. You want hints of things in the background, but you don't want the actual detail. A lot of people put too much detail and it brings everything forward. I want this to be very far back in the background. Do the lighter green here. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of brown in here. I especially want this area up here on this side of the tape a little bit darker, since it is kind of gonna, I want it to be even more out of focus than this. So hi, Anne. How are you? Welcome. Yeah, y'all talked me into it, so here I am. I've been wanting to actually do this particular part of this piece on live stream for a couple weeks. This has been actually set up for a couple weeks, and I meant to start it earlier than I have, but you know, it happens. So y'all talked me into doing the live stream, so here I am. hoping to make it a little bit more frequent. Adding a little bit more brighter colors in here. I know it looks like a hot mess right now, but you know, we'll fix that. Just a little bit bright here. I don't like that color. Yeah, you guys are encouraging me to do more live streams, so I will probably be doing more. Trying to fit in between Will and Chrissy and everybody else that everybody watches. Always a challenge. I know Will's doing his today on Patreon right now. I started a little bit later, so hopefully y'all don't miss too much on his channel that watches it. Okay, now I'm going to, I want to just blend this with my fingers, but I'm going to try to be good, and we're going to start blending some of the lighter areas out. Because, you know, we love those fingers. But I'm going to try the soft tools with this paper. I'm not sure how I'm going to like them. It runs across pretty smooth. Not too bad. Okay, y'all, I might have to go in with my fingers. I am not liking. Look at all this texture that's left in there. Well, let's just make a hot mess of it, and then we'll go in with more detail. How's that? Because that's what we do. And it's the first layer, so yeah. See, Chrissy, you're not the only one that messes up on stream. Look at that. Look at how bad that looks. This paper is something else. I do like it with colored pencil. When we did that little paper swatch thing, I really liked the way the colored pencil turned out. That's actually why I chose this paper. How interesting. Look at that. That is really weird. Well, at least it looks like something. Hi, Lindy. I know, right? Yes, I am clearly not Chrissy. I do have a little bit more, unlike Chrissy, I also don't have a dirt devil. So, you know, I do this stick up and tap. So, we'll see. Okay, so we're going to go in and add some more color and hopefully something. I am not liking the way this is. The texture is grabbing on. Okay, well that's a little bit better. So apparently you need like 5,000 layers in here to get a smooth. I'm using my fingers, people. That's just the way it's going to be. Sorry. I can't do this soft tool thing. Not on this. It's just not working out right. Well, this paper is definitely interesting. It grabs it, but I don't even know how to explain this paper. Chrissy, didn't you do one of your flowers on this paper? That color's not too bad. Just adding more layers. I'm not liking this texture here. This is what I'm talking about. You can kind of see where it's all grainy. It's like the paper like just grabs parts of it. You have to like really push it in like a lot to get it to. That's interesting. Pastel pencils, you know, I'm scared to even try at this point. I know it works pretty good on color pencils. Well, when I did my paper swatching, it worked pretty good on color pencils, but paper swatching is different than actual working on it. But I don't know. Let me go grab. Let me grab my pencils. Hold on a second, and we'll check it out. Where are they? Not there. There they are. Okay, we'll try this color pencil. Oh, color pencil, really. This pastel pencil, and we'll see what it does. Actually, it works quite nicely with the pastel pencil. Look at that. The pencil, I think, has enough to where it goes in, although it will scrape off. So it'd be good for details. Like if I put details, let's put a couple details in here. Look at that. That's really nice. So for details, it would be good. So if you wanted to do an entire piece, just make sure that you don't want to fill the tooth of the paper too much, because then you won't get those pencil strokes that I just did. But it looks like it'll still take it. So I would try it with whatever you're doing and see how it works. Not liking that color. There we go. I'm still not liking that it's grabbing this. Look at that. It's like scratching. That is so weird. Okay, so it's not just me. I was worried about it because I thought this was the paper that you used. I was a little concerned about the pastels on it, but you know, it's made for pastels. You would think that, you know. But then the techniques that we're using, of course, and you know, I'm noticing the color makes a difference. Look at how much that is, but if I do this different green, it's not like that. It's interesting. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. Well, we'll just have to figure that out. So I'm going to take this brown and add, this area over here is pretty dark. Does anybody have any question? Is that a smooth, colorful, is that smooth color? What? Smooth, colorful? Or you mean, I don't know what you mean. Colorfix. Yes. Yes, it is. And it's the pack with, why is that? Look, it has scratches in it. Hi, Iris. How you doing? Look, I've made progress. And I'm only 20 minutes in. How cool is that? You know you're not going to live that down, Chrissy. Just saying. Still not loving the paper, guys. Just kind of getting trying to lay down some color, but it's just not. I'm giving up on shapes right now and just trying to get some color into the tooth. Very funny. Really liking this gray here. There we go. So I'm experiencing with this paper that you need to lay down a few layers and then just kind of put in, I don't know why there's scratches here. I didn't even cut anything there. Weird. I try. I don't know that I'm very successful very often at being a comedian. My husband's like, really? All the time. He's like, seriously? I'm like, yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do, learning to working with this paper, is I'm going to just lay down the color kind of in the general area. Blend it out so it's smooth like this. So you notice how this is really rough here. So I'm going to blend it out so it's somewhat smooth like this. And then I'm going to go back and put in some of the finer details and just tap like I did here so you can kind of see a tree right here. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I think that's probably the best way to approach this particular paper. Let's see. And Steve, this is, you know, how we say plan your colors. Notice I'm just grabbing colors here and there. This is not the way to plan, just so you know. Okay, you people that have these bosses and stuff, you really need to talk to them and tell them they're really interrupting your mojo, your art mojo. Not that I'm sure that they care, but you know, maybe you can get them into art and then they can, you know, have a lot of fun too and say, oh, well, this isn't so bad. Hey, Elise, how you doing? So glad you could drop by. Are you streaming tomorrow? I agree. This is why I don't work. Well, that's only one reason I don't work, but there's several others. That's a story for another time, though. Now, see, I wasn't paying attention, so I lifted this little thing up, which is not a problem because it's going to be color pencil, so it can go right over it. But I just have to be a little bit more careful in that area. Nice. I thought you guys already had the birthday party or dinner, or was that just the birthday dinner? Yes, it's your first Artista stream because I don't usually do the live stream. I did them a while back. I did a few, and then especially on Twitch, I did a few on Twitch, and then I just didn't do it. I don't I was having problems with my computer, and it just wasn't pretty. Oh yeah, and I saw that post. Oh my gosh. That is so cool that you got published in that art paper. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. I know, how dare her? So rude, man. Like, who has time for boyfriends? Come on now. There's art to make. Oh, Irish, she got you back. Okay, I'm starting to sort of like this. And yes, this paper does kind of make you second guess your artist abilities. I totally agree with that. But you know, I think it might be the way we apply it, maybe, because clearly it's not going to be, it shouldn't be this hard. Well, you do have a point there. It is nice to live with the person that you want to hang out with the most, so, you know. So y'all just need to just live together, that's all. You two crack me up. Okay, so I have enough color on most of this, so I'm going to start putting in some of these darker areas. Again, I'm not really liking this paper. Do any of you do that? Like, turn your head like this and kind of like look at the paper like, really? What are you thinking? And like, and then you wonder why you're sore like at the end of the day, because like I think you get more of a workout doing that than anything else. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one, because, you know, I thought this was gray. Apparently it's black, but that's okay. It'll mix in with the green and will be golden. I'll see, once you look at that. That's nice now. Now that I'm getting some layers on there, if I'd stop overworking it, then I'd be good. Yeah, that's nice. So apparently 1,000 layers. We have decided 1,000 layers will be good for this. Wipe off my fingers. Always use the age card. You know, I don't see anything wrong with the school supply. I actually have a bunch of school supply ones. I would show you, but they're no longer next to me with my new setup. So, yeah, give it a go. And just to get a feel for the pastels. Now, they're probably going to be a little bit harder than some of the other professional ones, but there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to, you know, figure out how to use them. It's like any material. You just have to figure out the best way to use that particular material on whatever surface you're using. Although some surfaces, you know, are worse than others. Put some more green in this area. But don't let, your supplies keep you from creating. Gee. Experiment. That's what I'm doing. See, y'all think I know what I'm doing. I don't. I have no idea what I'm doing. Especially with this paper, because I've never worked on this paper, and it's just like, well, let's see what works. So, but I am liking, well, part of this area. And I'll just keep working until I get it the way I want it. I think everybody should try all the different mediums because you may be surprised at what you end up liking and what comes easy for you. Like watercolor and ink scares me, but I just did that one ink piece with like ink tints. I haven't used ink tints before. I'm going to knock this off. I haven't used ink tints before, and that was the first time I used ink tints was with that butterfly, if y'all saw that butterfly. And I was like, oh, well, this isn't so bad. What was I afraid of? So try everything. And me and Chrissy, we're all about trying everything. Let me tell you. Speaking of trying everything, we will be live streaming tomorrow night my time on her channel. We're going to be getting ready for Inktober. We're going to be talking about inks and our experience with inks and kind of the history of Inktober and how that came about and all of that. So it should be interesting. She's supposed to be swatching. I don't know if she's swatching right now or if she got her swatches done. How are you going with the layers? Well, the layers are going, I guess, is a good word to say it. Why I'm using that finger for black, I don't know, because I meant to use my other finger, but, whatever. You have to put a lot of layers on. That's what I'm finding. It's almost like you have to fill up the entire tooth of the paper before it actually gives you those smooth gradients and transitions. Otherwise, you have this rough stuff. It's the strangest thing. Yeah, it'll be, I think we decided 8 o'clock my time. 8 o'clock tomorrow night my time, so it'll be 10 o'clock Saturday morning Chrissy's time. Unless she's changing it. If you're changing it, Chrissy, let them know now. I just show up when she tells me to be there. She'll text me and say, okay, let's do it. I'm like, okay, let's. Okay, not changing it. So there you have it. It's official. 8 p.m. tomorrow night, my time. 10 a.m. Saturday morning, her time. So if y'all are in between any of that, figure out the times that those are coming for you. Oh, we would love to see you, Iris, for sure. So if you're awake, be sure to drop by. Well, you know how we are. We're kind of a little crazy. Okay, I'm going to start tapping. More tapping motion, less rubbing motion. Just to soften out just a little bit in these areas. Fingers dirty. That is one thing about streaming, you know, worldwide people, you know, it's not going to be a good time for everybody. We have talked about changing times, so like maybe one stream might be like an early stream for everyone and one stream might be a late stream for everybody. As the audience grows, we want to make sure that we try to get most of the people that we can. I'm going to throw in some of this coral down in here. It's very similar to some of the colors I'm going to be using in him, so I want to throw some of these colors in here just so it ties everything in. Clearly my finger is just too dirty for this. I have a paper towel. It's kind of messy, so I'm just trying to rub my hand off on it a little bit when it gets too dark, because, you know, I wasn't happy with the soft tools, so we're just gonna... And the soft tools didn't seem to really push the color into the paper very much. It was more like rubbing it. I think different paper, of course, would have different results, but okay, so I had a random thought just now while I'm doing this, looking at this. So would pastels be an ideal thing for, like, say a felon? Because you leave your fingerprints all over it. So I wonder if they could actually, like, get fingerprints off of, like, an artwork that they do. I know, I'm out there, but no, I'm not going to use fixative. Oh my gosh. Do not use fixative. Oh, I did a rose. I don't know if y'all have seen it, but that pastel rose that I did on my I did a speed drawing of a pastel rose, and I put fixative on that. And oh my gosh, people, my heart broke. My heart broke so bad because that fixative just, it acts, I mean, you can still kind of see some of the detail, but it just, it's just, I'll have to show y'all one of these days. Oh, my heart broke. My heart broke. Hey, Wicked. See, Iris, that's what I'm saying. I mean, think of all these things you think about while you're arting, you know? I mean, who thinks of these things? Come on. How wrong is that thought? Seriously. Like, why did that even come into my head? Okay, I'm starting to like this area a bit more. Although why I'm starting on this side, I don't know. I'm right-handed, you know. What possessed me, I don't know. Probably because it's the largest area and I wanted to try to get a feel for what I'm doing. Hey, Paolo, how are you? So glad you could make it today. Just tapping in, which is kind of a nice effect. You can kind of see some of the stuff behind, because there are some bushes back there. and trees, and I think some of those are people, to be honest. I think this was taken like in a zoo or something, because surely. Which, did you know? Did you know that some zoos, you're not allowed to take pictures and use them for artwork or commercial use? You have to find out what the rules are for the different zoos. I bet y'all didn't know that. All of these little rules that everybody puts on. They're so worried about copyright. It's like it's an animal. Unless you actually name it, oh, well, I got this at whatever zoo. I mean, really? Unless it's very specific, like it has some crazy birthmark or something, you're really not going to notice that that animal was from that area or that zoo or whatever. I don't know. I know. I agree that it does sound silly, but there was this big to do on one of the forums not too long ago, actually, and yeah, if you like, you can take the pictures and use them for personal use, like just to have, for a family album, but to actually take them and like make money off of them, like I was just like, that's insane. Like, you're right. How do they know? But I mean, I guess if they looked at the enclosures and whatnot, they might be able to say, hey, that's the enclosure for this zoo if you're familiar with the zoo. But I don't know. I thought it was a little crazy. Exactly, Chrissy. That's what I'm saying. Everybody takes pictures at the zoo. So like I said, I'm just passing on what I read. But if you read, there's some zoos, if you look on their website, it'll even say their rules for taking pictures and what you can use those pictures for. I don't remember the zoo, the zoo that was the big controversy. I don't remember which one that was specifically, but oh my gosh. I was just like, okay, so all of us people that, don't go out on safari or whatever can't get pictures to use them. That's what I'm saying. Exactly, Elise. Like I said, certain zoos do, certain zoos don't, but yeah. See, that's exactly right. How are they going to know that the monkey or whatever animal you drew is from that particular zoo? I mean, like I said, unless there's something very specific, say like an albino giraffe or something that's only at like one zoo, then clearly you got the picture from that zoo. But for the most part, most animals, there's not really any major distinguishing things on them. So I don't know. That would be so funny. I was looking at reference photos the other day. Oh my gosh, people, I kid you not. I was looking at reference photos the other day, and my husband got me started on this because he's like, have you seen this? Have you seen this? I'm like, okay, well, let's go look. So, there's this, okay, so y'all have probably seen the monkey with that, butt, that exposed butt, that, it's the craziest looking monkey. There is a monkey, too, that actually has, like, it looks like it has cleavage. I kid you not. It looks like it has cleavage. I do not know the name of it. And I'm just like, what is that? I'm like, his face is absolutely gorgeous. Like, the face of this monkey is gorgeous. But the cleavage, oh my gosh. I just couldn't. I couldn't. There's no way. I just couldn't do it. Plastic surgery gun, yes, for sure. For sure. So you just never know what's going to be talked about on strings. It's kind of crazy. Where does this thing go? I'm going to put in a little bit of gray down here, which apparently looks more black. But this one's actually gray. Like, I didn't actually pick up the black this time. That's a nice change. Looking in my viewfinder to make sure that I have some of the stuff in here and it's actually looking like something. It's got to look like something, right? It is taking quite a bit of pastel, Colorfix is. I think pastel matte is easier to work with. Hands down, it's easier to work with. This, you have to put a lot, and I'm talking a lot of layers I'm finding to even get it smooth, because at first it had, you can still see some of the texture right here, which I guess, you know, kind of adds to the piece. I'm not really sure, but I don't like the bumpy texture that it leaves, and it seems to also depend upon the color. Some colors are looking like they're worse than others, so I don't know. Oh, thanks, Elise. Your art looks like a long-necked horse. Well, I'm hoping that in the end it'll actually look like a giraffe, but you know, we shall see. If not, my patrons are going to be very upset because, you know, it's kind of a giraffe, not, you know. I mean, I could turn it into a horse. A horse with horns? That could work. Let's see. Let's do some, there's some bright green. It's like a green yellow. So let's do a little bit of color mixing. Put a little bit of yellow up in here. Now I'll mix with some of this green. I do have a video coming out in 2 weeks. Yeah, the first Tuesday of October, talking about pastels and how using a minimal palette, which clearly y'all keep seeing me pick up 8,000 different colors, so that's not happening here. But like in this instance, I added yellow instead of adding a bright green to kind of make some of these colors because I knew it would blend in with the green. So using a minimal palette like that will hopefully, you know, not create mud unless you have to put tons of color down beforehand and then you make mud anyway. But it's all good. Never post photos online in which someone can guess the zoo. Oh, there you go. That's a very good point. You know, if they can't recognize the zoo with the enclosures and stuff like that, then they really can't say much. So, very good point. Trying to bring back some of these tree trunks a little bit. And you'll notice it's not really looking like the reference, so to speak, but I'm just trying to get the feel. I don't really care if it matches the reference. I mean, I doctored the reference anyway, so it's not going to match the reference. I changed it. So I just want the feel, which I think I have a really good feel over here until you get to about here. And so now we're just working on, yeah. Let's see, I need to put some of the browns that I'm going to put in him in the background just a little bit more. I don't feel like there's enough of these colors in here. So since I'm sort of happy with this side, I'm going to go ahead and put them over here. Lindy says, I'm loving this. I'm actually working on a piece of my own. So though I can hear everything, I'm not only looking up every now and again. Each time I do look up, it looks so much better. Well, thank you, Lindy. Hi, Robin. How's it going? Well, good. I'm glad you guys are getting a bunch of art done while you're listening. Listening to me ramble on about, you know, pointless facts. I have a lot of pointless facts, actually. And if you don't believe me, ask Chrissy. Chrissy will tell you that I'm always rambling off pointless facts, and my husband will too. How does Colorfix compare to Canson MG Touch if you've tried both? Both visuals seem very similar, but since I have just one sheet of each, want to pick the most suitable subject. So I do have the Canson Metant Touch. I have not used it with Pastels. This is the first time I actually used this one. The reason I chose this one is because when we did our paper swatching, I knew that it was going to give me the look I wanted for my color pencils. Interestingly enough, you know, when Christian had that idea to do the paper swatching, you know, we talked about it and we're like, nobody does that. Why do we not paper swatch? We color swatch. We do all that, but we never paper swatch. And believe it or not, I've actually referred back to that paper swatch so often. And even, like I said, just trying to come up with, you know, what paper am I going to use for this? Because I knew I wanted the background to be in pastels. What paper am I going to use with this? And I'm like, you know, I'm just going to try this Colorfix and see what happens because I love the way it looks with color pencil. And I'm going to be using OMS on the colored pencil, so I knew that I needed something that could hold up to it too, and I know this does, so that's why we experiment. That's why I'm so good at art trivia. You know, probably. I hear things and I seem to remember them just like, or I remember at least where to get the information. I'm very good at finding information. Invaluable. Yes, invaluable is a word. Have you not heard of invaluable? Seriously? Iris, just experiment. Get little samples, or like cut off little parts, and then do some swatches and see, you know, what you like to work on. Because there's certain things like there's certain things that I like to do on certain papers. So, and depending upon the look I want is going to be, look at all this dust. Should I rub it in? I'll rub it in. Why not? It'll add to the part. That's where it was. See, use the dust to your advantage on blurry backgrounds. But yeah, do some paper swatching. Just cut off. I mean, it doesn't have to be big. Just do a little like 2x2 thing and scratch some pencil on there and see how it works with burnishing. See how it works with blending with OMS. Just play with it. That's the best way to learn. Everybody has their opinions, but the way you work is going to affect the papers that you use. So I'm just going to take some of this dust and blend it into some of these areas that need more color. There we go. But that's the best way to find out. I mean, people swear by pastel matte. Okay, seriously, people swear by pastel matte. And yes, I agree, pastel matte is good. I mean, talk to Chrissy. Chrissy, that's Chrissy's go-to paper. I mean, if you've been watching Chrissy, you know that's her go-to paper. I like pastel matte for certain things. I'm not, oh my gosh, I have to use pastel matte for this and this. This is my favorite paper. I really don't have a favorite paper, so to speak. Let's see. Is a hound dog when it comes to sniffing out ideas? Oh yes, apparently I am a hound dog. Chrissy keeps saying like I have all these ideas. I don't know. See, Iris, I admit, okay, I seriously, I was the same way. I was lazy, and I didn't want to, you know, do this or do that, or oh my gosh, it's such a hassle to set this up. Oh my gosh, I hate doing the line work. Oh my gosh, you know, I always came up with excuses, and I found the more excuses I came up with, the lazier I got, to be honest. I mean, it's the truth, you know, and I'm like, I would use it as an excuse not to create. And that, you know, oh, I don't want to go check out the paper. Oh, I don't want to go do this. And Chrissy actually got me out of that habit. And you guys have encouraged me to do, like, a lot more stuff. And if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this live stream because, you know, y'all are like, do a live stream, do a live stream, do a live stream. Well, I listen. I do listen. It might take me a little bit, but I do listen. So, yeah, and I'm glad I did, you know, and I want to do more, so. Let's see. See, Chrissy, yeah, pastel matte. Oh, I never thought about that. That would be a really good idea to use those mattes. Yeah. So now I'm getting some of these darks in here. Attempting, anyway. Trying to avoid that little thing right there. That is, what is that anyway? That's like, oh, that's his eyelash. No biggie. Let's see. You know what? I never pushed record. Whatever. Been having issues with my recording anyway, so I'll just chalk it up to issues. That's what I'll chalk it up to. Chrissy, you're supposed to remind me to hit record. Just so you know, that's your job if I'm on live stream. I'm going to give you a job on my live stream, and that's going to be it. You know, Gary, I agree. When I'm on live stream, like when I'm in chat with y'all on other live streams, it is so hard for me to work. If that's why I spend a lot of time just lurking. Why am I so dark? That's why I spend a lot of time just lurking, because I can't work and chat, actually chat. If I'm watching a live stream, I like to, talk with you guys and stuff like that. And if I'm working, I'm like focused. I don't want to, take away that focus. So I do find it difficult to work and be in a live chat as well. So I'm with you. I can, and I have done that, but yeah. Take some of this light off. Let's see. He looks like he's crying. We're going to have to fix that. We don't want him to look like he's crying out his color, because that's kind of the color he's going to be. I don't want him to look like he's crying his color. Don't cry, little giraffe. It's okay. There you go. There. See? All better. No cry. Boo-boo's fixed. Try to get some of these. I saw that before you retracted that, Chrissy. Did you, Mama Wendy? Well, thanks, Robin. What's funny about that is when I was in culinary school, yes, I went to culinary school, they used to call me Mama Wendy too. I thought it was so funny, because I was older than, like, a lot of them. Because a lot of them were just, out of high school and stuff like that. So I was always, being the one to say, yo, what's up with that? So they always call me Mama Wendy, trying to keep them in line. Notice I just keep going over some of these areas because I just don't like the way it's looking. Like, now it's too green. So now we have to add some more dark in. Typos. Chrissy's blaming it on typos, people. She can do that when she's typing. Now, what's her excuse when she talks? Because then it's not typos. Then she just can't pronounce. And I still don't understand how you say schedule. How do you even say that? Oh, wait. That's right. Shannon said it was Jewel. Like SCH Jewel? I don't know. Schedule. So you just miss the C altogether? Like, I can give you a bad time, though. I'm allowed. That's how we talk. No. Because so far, I think all of our Aussie friends have said that. You're the only one that says that. Because Shannon even said on that one that's... I have a big mess on my hands, people. Okay, we're going to attempt to put these back in again because, you know, why not keep going back and forth and doing the same thing you've done? That's good. I think they pronounce it like that in the UK. Really? Like where does the C go? Like, how many layers? I don't know. Count. I have no idea. Because it's still layering, and especially on the parts that are really rough. It's still, like, this area I haven't really worked in, but see, you can still see. Can you guys see how rough that is? Like, thank you, Wicked. The C is silent. In what language is the C silent? Schedule. See? Elise even says it's schedule. SK, exactly. See? It's schedule. I don't say SH. She says SH. That's probably the only one I really give her a bad time about. Sorry, I should have warned you. I was picking it up. I'll warn you next time, Iris. Shed. Really? Okay, so it's a British thing, is what we're saying. Because Aussies have a lot of that British influence. Okay, we're going to go over here and work on this area here, because I am not... Like, I like this half, but this half needs some work. And we're just going to tap. Well, see, Paulo got it. He's like, the two pronunciations are acceptable. But it's still fun to make fun of her. I've never heard it before, Paulo, pronounced like that until Chrissy. Like, and I know it's an English thing and an Aussie thing to put R's on the end of, like, vowels, like A's. Like, if the name's Wanda, it's Wander, or something like that. And I don't get that because there's no R in it at all. It's crazy. Yes, I agree with Chrissy. My husband's caught me doing that a couple times. Like, I'll say, gosh, what have I said recently? I said something to her, and she started cracking up because she's like, that is so Aussie. I'm like, well, you're rubbing off on me. We're bringing Aussie to the United States. That's all there is to it. Okay, I'm gonna swipe my hand across this. I'm probably gonna regret doing that. I'm just gonna do it in that area. That was too defined. You know, it's funny because people, I grew up, like, we moved a lot just because. I mean, it's not like it was military or anything. We just moved a lot. I have my ideas as to why, but, well, that's another story. But, so I tend to pick up accents and pronunciations of the people and areas that I'm around. When I lived in Japan, I would pick up certain things the way they said things, and they're like, so people are like, where are you from? And I'm like, all over, because I moved so much. I was born in Texas, and we lived on the West Coast, and then when I got married, I lived in Okinawa, Japan for 6 years. And then I went from there to Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii for 4 years. And then I've lived all over California, Nevada, well, Las Vegas, Oregon. So I've picked up accents from all over these places. So people are like, you have a weird accent. Why, thank you. Yes, I do. And now that I'm talking to Chrissy all the time, I'm picking up like all of her stuff and the way she says stuff. And I don't know, it's the strangest thing. Like, all my friends are like, it seems like they're, and the people that I watch on YouTube and stuff, they're all from Australia. I don't know why. Like, I hardly watch any American YouTubers. Not because I'm like, oh, well, they're American. It's just, for whatever reason, that's just the way it happened. I don't know. I just find it interesting. But I've always wanted to go to Australia, even when I was little. I don't know. Y'all's accents are just so cool. I have been quite a few places. I have not been to Europe. I really want to go to Europe. I was hoping we'd get stationed in Europe. I wanted to get stationed in Germany. That's where I really wanted to get stationed. That didn't work out. And as it turned out, I got divorced anyway. And, So, oh, dirty finger. Make sure your fingers are clean if you're going to use them. Oh, that sounded bad. Well, make sure your fingers are clean anyway if you're going to use them. Yeah, Britain would be very cool to visit. I always wanted to go to London. And my husband's family is actually from England. O'Brien, so, it is Irish. His grandparents, his mom and dad's parents, actually came over. I believe they're the ones that came over from England. They're very proper. They have, a lot of the English traditions and stuff like that. How many layers have you got on? I don't know how many layers I have on the server. Enough to make it smooth? I don't know. I'd say in some areas probably a good 10, 8 to 10, easy. I just keep going over certain areas. That's very green. I don't want it that green. We'll tone it down with some of this ivory. I'm going to tap, 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 tap instead of rub, rub, rub. And then we'll darken it up with a little bit of this gray. I don't want these shadows in here to be super dark, but probably knowing how I work, they will end up really dark. I think London would be really fun to visit. I do have a lot of issues with a lot of rain and whatnot. So I have to be careful with like how long I'm in places that rain all the time and whatnot. Just because of those reasons. I have to have that sunshine. Like living in Alaska, I don't, in winter, I don't think I could, I don't think I could even do that. Like, I wouldn't mind trying, but wow, just, I would have to have one of those sun visors or whatever that they use for, during that time, because it's just, I just can't, I don't know. I'm very light sensitive. I agree, yes, that's why I used masking film. And oh, Canada, London, Ireland, and the US someday, and Greece, of course. Well, of course. I mean, you know, that is your heritage. Alaska. You know, okay, so funny story. When I was going over to Okinawa, I was severely pregnant with my son. I was actually almost to where I couldn't travel, but beyond that. So I I was wearing shorts. I was pregnant. Okay, you can't do much. You know, I didn't have a lot of clothes that I wore at the time, so I was wearing shorts and whatnot. And we were walking outside in shorts. It was snowing, but you know, I also did that when I lived in Virginia. When I lived in Virginia, it was soon after I came from Hawaii, and Hawaii, that's all you wear is shorts, you know? I mean, come on, it's Hawaii. Shorts and flip-flops. So I actually told Chrissy this story, and we would go to the store, it was like 32 degrees, 30 degrees, whatever, and it would be snowing, and I'm over here in shorts and a t-shirt, just walking through the store, and people were giving me the weirdest looks. Now, when I lived in Virginia, I lived in Dahlgren, which the closest, it's like a little military base. So the closest thing I had near me was like 40 miles away. So we had to drive 40 miles to go to the grocery store. So that was always an adventure. It's one time we had a bat get stuck in our grill. That freaked me out. Because we were driving and the bat just flew into our car and it got stuck in the grill. Yeah. Hey, Will, how's it going? Okay, I'm kind of liking the background. I just want to do a couple little things. And I'm going to give you guys, I know what you always love, that nice crisp edge. I'm going to take all of this off before the stream ends so everybody can get that satisfaction of these lines. It's going. Okay. Well, that doesn't sound very encouraging, I guess. Okay, let's see. What else do I want to put on here before I do that? I kind of want this blurred out a little bit more, so I'm going to just smooth that out. And then I still feel like his eye is crying. Do you guys feel his eye is crying? Like crying this tree? Do you guys feel that way? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Will. Hopefully it passes very quickly. That didn't fix the crying, did it? I don't want to go too light. Although he is quite dark in that area, I'll just go back to this. I'm just going to tap, 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 tap. Get some foliage going in there. Oh, that's better. That is true. Will gives us a lot of inspiration for sure. He is the one that brought us all together, so you know. Let's see. I think I'm going to step back and look at this because this is looking a little odd to me. Do y'all think this looks weird on this side? Like, thank you, Will. Yeah, I want it to look like it's actually coming out from behind, and then it's gonna pop off, and I wanted it to break the frame. This is one of the videos I'm gonna get from this project is I'm gonna be doing a composition video, and this is gonna be one of the points that I want to make. Is about breaking the frame and how it can be a good thing and not always stick in with what you know or what is the norm. So, well, thanks, Iris. I'm just having trouble with, like, I don't want his eye looking like he's crying out, like, you know, his color, because that seemed to be what it was doing. I know that sounds weird, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay, I think, unless y'all see anything. Oh, Paulo, of course. I mean, you know, we love to do it. All of us really enjoy art, and we love to share what we know and our techniques with everyone. So we're always happy to... What is that? What is that? Figure it out later. Take a pencil and fill that in. Oh, that's what that is. That's where I cut. Okay, good to know. Okay, so unless you guys see anything else that you think needs to be fixed, or added, or subtracted, or something like that, holler now before I take off all the tape, because I am not going back with pastels. And putting any more pastels on here once I take the tape off. So if you guys see anything, let me know before I take it off. Yes, Paolo, you're always welcome here. Paolo, have you gone to the Unmask Art family? A lot of us are on there. If you want to check that out as well. We do a lot of tips and stuff on there. People ask questions about their art. You don't really want to, he doesn't encourage like full finished pieces unless you need some help with it. The intent is a learning forum, so. Will says go a bright green. A bright green, yeah, oh. I had bright green, but I didn't like it. Like, where do you want me to go bright green? Oh, see, that's why it's scratching. It's that side. See, it's not me. Apparently it is me, but... I want like a yellow green, but you know, I am not getting the yellow green because I have so many of the dark. There we go. Put some bushes in here. Yeah, just look up, Paolo, look up Unmask Art Family. Is it Unmask Art Family? I think it's Unmask Art. See, I don't even know anymore. I just go in because, you know. And look that up on Facebook and just ask to join and answer the questions because there are questions in there. And and one of us moderators will approve you. I'm going to add some of this over here because it looks unbalanced. There we go. Teal blue. Okay, you're scaring me with some of these colors, Will. I do like that, though. That does look nice. Good call. Dark teal. Okay. So you guys are just gonna see. This is gonna be a family project. That's what it's gonna be. A family project. Oops. Too far, too dirty, too muddy. There we go. And then Anne says, do some purple. A bit of violet. So you guys are being very literal to this reference, I see. I'm going to have to add some of this. Oh, yeah, I see the violet in his ears now. I wasn't even really looking at him, you know, not focused. But I do see a lot of violet in his ears. Very nice, very nice. Bottom left corner, brighten the top left. Wait, darken the bottom left. Left meaning my left, or left meaning like this side left? Because it's reversed from what's on the screen. This left? I do like that purple. Good call, Anne. And I do like the teals. See, y'all are doing good here. Then bottom right. Bottom right. This side. The ear is to my right. The ear is to your right. So this side. Okay. So darken bottom right, lighten top left. So lighten this area, darken this area, is what you're saying. No. Oh. Chrissy, remember that time when me and Nanette were like jumping up and down? I think Will is about ready to do that to me. And he's probably doing that face palm thing, you know, going, oh my gosh, stop touching it. Yeah, I know. Yes, it sort of is. Okay, so this is my left. This is my right. So left, right. Yeah, I think Will is feeling about that way now. He's like, no, don't do that. Okay. So, it is called payback. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely 100% right. Okay, I'm going to darken this. How's that? It'll go a little bit better with the reference photo. Bye, Iris. See you later. Have a good weekend. Unless we see you on tomorrow night. But have a good weekend anyway. Even if we do see you tomorrow night. Bye, Elise. Elise is leaving too. Where did I miss that? I'm going to put in some more of this in here just to add the color in. Still not happy that that's scratched right there, just so y'all know. Oh, good. Elise isn't going anywhere. See, I didn't think I missed that. Chrissy, you're starting something. Elise, Chrissy's trying to get rid of you. Putting in some of these light greens. I do like the teals that we'll mention, and I'll throw some purple down in here too. Then we're going to go in with this dark gray and put some of these little doomabobs, because that's a technical term, doomabobs. Tap, 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 tap. Push them back. Well, you know, she's just trying to keep, you know, your palette. Your palette. We need to discuss your palette. See, you started this now. We need to discuss this. You should really take care, and you even admit that you don't take care of your brushes. You should really take care of your supplies, because they're the ones that, you know, if you didn't have supplies, you wouldn't be able to create. But your palette, yeah. Unicorn vomit is an interesting way to put this. Yes, yes, yes it is. Look at that. I've moved my palette, my stuff over, so you can't see what I'm doing. Okay. I feel like it's still something. And I know Will is probably jumping up and down saying, oh my gosh, just do what I'm telling you to do. I know. But the whole left-right thing is really confusing. You have to wait. I'm going to try to put in some little circles here. Get some of that bouquet filling here and there. So I'm just kind of doing a circle and then tapping once or twice. Deepen the shadow. On this side? This side? I'm tending to agree with you. As long as we're on the same page. This side. Under the neck. Over here. Gotcha. See, there we go. under there. That's awesome. I love that. Under there. Okay, I have to totally clean my hand here. It's getting a little too much to take. Baby wipes. They're great for everything. I use these things like for everything. Okay, I have to have a dry hand. No under there. I still want this tree trunk in here. Poor Will. I'm going to drive Will crazy. Sorry, Will. I know I'm driving you nuts. Chrissy, are you doing your swatches or are you like in bed? You're so funny, Will. Okay. So that's going to be dark, so I'm going to leave that pretty much as is. Actually, I'm going to lighten. I'm going to put a little bit of highlight right there. And bring this black down in here. Soften that up just a little bit. Why did that get darker? That is the weirdest thing. Okay. What are you doing? Stop. There. Okay. And then... Oh, see, I keep telling Chrissy that she needs to do two things in her studio. She needs to put a wine refrigerator in there. And she needs to put a bed in there because clearly she's always in there like really late at night. So, you know. Okay, I'm tipping it up, so don't freak out because you think it's going to tip. Let's see. I'm just tapping to smooth some of this out. I don't like that look right there. Dark brown to fix that line right there. Okay. So I think I'm going to tap this. Stand up, make sure. I feel this is very gray. Do y'all feel this is gray? I feel this is gray. We're going to ungray it. Put some. I feel there's not enough contrast in this area. Okay, I'm happier with that. Okay, I'm going to completely clean my hands. And we're calling the background done. But y'all aren't going to get away so easily because I'm going to take off the tape. The tape's been on here for like 2 weeks. Needs to come off so everybody can get that nice satisfaction. Let me see which way this goes. One thing I don't like about this Colorfix paper is this edge between the sanded part and the well, the paper that all the stuff is on. I really don't care for that. I want to say this is below the masking film. I was right. Paolo, agree. Removing the tape is nice. The all this tape that is colored or designed is washi tape because that's what I had for the right size. What do I think of this paper? For pastels, I'm not a big fan, which I find interesting because it's supposed to be for pastels. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the paper for pastels. Colored pencil, I will probably still use it for colored pencil. Oh, you know what? I need to leave. Hold on. Getting my X-Acto because I need to leave this part of the tape on. For when I do my giraffe, because I want to keep that a nice smooth edge. Pussy, you have to wait. Sorry, my dog keeps asking to go outside. Keep telling her she has to wait. Come on. Cuddy, cuddy. Try not to cut the paper. For whatever reason, this doesn't want... There we go. You have to wait just a minute. Thank you. Okay, nice clean edge. Bye, Gary. See you later. This one I'm not too worried about because it's pretty small. And the last piece of tape that I am taking off, because this is going to stay because of it being right by his neck. I'll make sure that it maintains a clean edge. And there you go. That's essentially what it's going to look like, and then the ear will come out to here, and then the snout will come out to here. So, breaking the borders. And yes, this is very cool. Oh, don't. Masking film's like very cool. It's very, very cool. Chrissy has a quick little video on how to use it on her channel. And then I will eventually have one. It was supposed to be with this one, but I was halfway through and said, oh, duh, I was supposed to do a video on that. So, whatever. It'll be on my next project. But, yeah, so that's about it. And that's basically the dark background. Kind of blurry, kind of see a little bit of a forest back there. But we want the focus to be on him. So I want to thank everybody so much for dropping by. I really appreciate it. And I hope to see you on the next one. I will try to make them a little bit more frequent, and I'm going to try to make them a little bit more regular. So bear with me while I'm in this bit of transition. But thank you guys so much. And the giraffe will be on my Patreon. This is the project for November. So the color pencil real time will be on that. So thank you guys, and see you later. Bye.